My beloved, listen closely, for I speak not from the distance of the heavens, but from within you, from the quiet that you forget to visit. I have never been far from you. You call to me with trembling lips, thinking I must travel across light years to find you, but I am the breath that fills your lungs, the warmth behind your heartbeat, the silent presence that watches you even when you think you are unseen. You are never without me. Yet so many of you live as though abandoned, as though I have hidden my face. You wonder why your hearts feel hollow, why your peace breaks so easily, why love seems always beyond reach. It is not because I have gone. It is because fear has taken my place. Love and fear cannot dwell together in the same home. You were built as a temple for love. It is your design, your origin, and your destination. But when fear enters, it rearranges the furniture of your soul. It builds walls where windows were meant to be. It locks doors that were meant to stay open. It teaches you to defend, to control, to hide. And in that moment, you begin to forget who you are. You think fear protects you, but it only keeps you small. It promises safety while slowly stealing your freedom. You begin to measure life not by how deeply you love, but by how little you risk. You call that wisdom, but I call it forgetting. For what is wisdom without love? What is faith without trust? What is life without the courage to open? I see you, my child, the one who prays for peace but holds tightly to worry. The one who longs for love yet hides behind 1,000 excuses. The one who says, God, why do you feel so far, and yet builds a fortress around their heart so thick that not even the sunlight of my presence can pass through. You say you want me, but you hold on to fear as though it were a friend. And I do not blame you. I know where fear was born, in the moment you believed you were alone. From that moment, everything became survival. But you are not meant to survive, you are meant to live. You are not meant to just endure, you are meant to create. You are not meant to just exist in shadow, you are meant to shine. Do you remember when you were a child, before the world taught you to doubt? You loved without calculation, trusted without reason, forgave without delay. That was me in you, pure, unfiltered, fearless love. Then the world began to whisper that such openness would break you. And you believed it. Slowly, you began to choose fear in small ways, a guarded word, a withheld truth, a silence when you wanted to speak. And with each small choice, love took one step back. That is why I say, fear and love cannot coexist. One will always push the other away. When fear rules, love waits. When love returns, fear dissolves. You cannot cling to both. Many ask me, why can't he be where he belongs? Speaking of a soul lost, a heart gone astray, a man who once burned with love but now lives cold. And I tell you this, he cannot be where he belongs because fear has built a home inside him. He looks for belonging in places where love cannot live, in power, in control, in performance, in pride. But those are houses built on sand. No one can rest there long. He belongs in love. That is where every soul belongs, not in possession, not in approval, not in certainty, but in the living flow of love itself. Yet when fear governs a heart, that heart becomes a wanderer. It searches for home in every direction but within. It tries to earn love instead of accepting it. It seeks validation instead of intimacy. It wants safety more than truth. And in doing so, it drifts further from where it belongs. But love never stops calling. Love does not grow tired. It is not a feeling that comes and goes, it is the pulse of eternity itself. You can silence it for a while, but not forever. Even in the darkest hour, even in the coldest distance, love whispers through the cracks of your defenses, "Come home." And I am that love. I am not waiting at some distant gate, counting your sins or measuring your worth. I am here, inside the ache you feel when you miss what you cannot name. I am the reason your heart still hopes. You think it is heartbreak that hurts you, but it is love trying to reach you through the rubble of your fear. So many of you say, "God, I want to find you." But I am not lost. It is you who wander from your own heart. I am the stillness inside it, waiting for you to stop running. You run because fear tells you that if you slow down, you'll feel the pain you've buried. But the pain you fear is only the shadow of what's already healing. It cannot destroy you, it can only set you free. When you allow yourself to feel, you begin to let love move again, and when love moves, I move. This is why he, the man you ask me about, the symbol of all who have lost their way, cannot yet be where he belongs. He has confused fear for strength, and silence for peace. But I am not found in control. I am found in surrender. If you wish to help him, do not chase him. Stand in love. Be still in it. Your steadiness becomes a signal, a light through the fog. Fear cannot stay where love remains calm. You do not need to fix anyone, you only need to become what you hope they remember. Love is not weakness. Love is the most powerful force in creation. Fear shakes before it. Darkness hides from it. Even death must bow to it. That is who I am, and that is who you are when you return to me. You are love, my beloved. Everything else is a temporary disguise. Beautiful. Here is part 2 of 6 of *, Love versus Fear, Why He Can't Be Where He Belongs. This continues directly from God's voice to humanity, in the same loving, modern tone. I will tell you the truth, fear is not stronger than love, it only shouts louder. It needs noise to exist. Love is quiet, and you must become quiet to hear it. Fear thrives in confusion, in hurry, in comparison, in noise. It fills the spaces where silence once allowed my whisper to reach you. It tells stories that sound like truth but are made of shadows. Fear says, "You are not enough." Love says, "You were made from enoughness itself." Fear says, "You must earn safety." Love says, "You were born safe in me." Fear says, "You will be alone if you open your heart." Love says, "You have never been alone, not for a single breath." Fear is clever. It wears the masks of reason, pride, even wisdom. It tells you that vulnerability will cost you too much. But it never tells you the cost of closing your heart. Because that cost is everything that truly matters: connection, meaning, belonging, peace. When he, the one you think of, closes himself to love, it is not because he has chosen evil or turned away from me. It is because he has believed the voice of fear more than the voice of truth. He has built walls because he once trusted and was hurt. He has armored himself not out of malice but out of misunderstanding. He thinks protection will save him, but protection has only isolated him. He cannot be where he belongs because love cannot enter a house built to keep everything out. Do not despise him for this. Every soul has walked that road. Even you, my beloved, have done the same. You have built walls in my name, thinking it would preserve your purity, your peace, your strength. But every wall you raise becomes a prayer unanswered, because I cannot enter what you refuse to open. I do not break doors, I knock, and I wait. And yet I do not grow weary. My love is infinite patience. I have waited through centuries of human fear, through wars, through betrayals, through the noise of progress and pride. Still, I wait for each heart to remember. Because once one heart remembers love, light spreads faster than any darkness can run. When you choose love, truly, deeply, you create a space where others can remember too. That is how the world heals, one open heart at a time. You think you change the world through force, through argument, through persuasion. But you change it through presence. When you choose to stand in love, even silently, fear loses ground around you. People feel it even if they cannot name it. I have placed this power in you. It is not reserved for saints or mystics or prophets. It belongs to every soul that breathes. You are meant to be the living reminder of me. Every act of kindness, every forgiveness offered, every truth spoken with compassion, these are my fingerprints through you. Yet still, fear whispers, it's not enough. The world is too broken. People don't change. But I say to you, every act of love changes everything. You may not see the ripple, but it moves through eternity. One quiet act can shift the course of countless hearts. You were not called to fix the world, you were called to love it. When he feels lost, when he pulls away, do not chase his fear with your fear. Do not mirror his distance with your own. Stay rooted in love. Be still, and let your peace call him home. The heart that truly loves becomes a lighthouse for the one still wandering in the storm. Fear will try to tell you this is weakness, that you are being taken for granted, that love should have limits. But I say to you, love's only limit is wisdom. You can love someone fully without allowing their fear to destroy your peace. You can remain open without losing your boundaries. The power of love does not mean staying in harm's way, it means staying connected to truth even when you must walk away. You cannot lose love by stepping back, only by closing your heart. When you hold peace, even from a distance, your love continues its work in silence. Do you know why I speak so often of surrender? Because surrender is the opposite of fear. Fear clenches, love releases. Fear demands control, love trusts. Fear says, I must know the outcome. Love says, I am safe, whatever comes. Surrender is not giving up, it is returning. It is the moment you stop fighting what already belongs to you. The one who has lost his way, he is not beyond me. No one ever is. You see only his distance, I see the seeds beneath the soil. What looks lifeless to you is only dormant in my timing. Every soul returns home eventually. Some come through joy, others through heartbreak. But all roads, even the ones built by fear, eventually turn back toward love. The only thing you must remember is this: do not let his fear become yours. You cannot help him by dimming your light to match his shadow. Stand where you are, rooted in peace, and trust that my love is working in him, just as it is in you. You do not need to know how or when. Faith is not knowing the path, it is trusting the guide. You walk in love and I take care of the rest. You think he is far away, but in truth, he is only one decision away from home. Fear may delay that decision, but love will never stop calling. And when he finally listens, it will not be through argument or guilt, but through the memory of what love felt like in your presence, the echo of me he once glimpsed in you. So do not lose hope. Hope is the doorway love uses when fear locks all the others. Keep it open. Keep believing that redemption is not just possible, but inevitable. For love always wins, not through force, but through persistence. Every time you choose forgiveness instead of bitterness, you create a path for him to return. Every time you choose patience instead of anger, you light another lantern in the night. Every time you choose love over fear, you bring both of you closer to where you belong. Do not underestimate what your love can do, even when unseen. I see it. I amplify it. It is my hand through yours. You have asked me, how can I keep choosing love when it hurts? How can I keep believing when I am tired, when my prayers seem unanswered, when he still does not return? Listen carefully. Love does not promise that you will never hurt. Love promises that every hurt can become holy. Pain is not proof that love has failed, it is proof that your heart is alive. Only those who feel deeply can be shaped deeply. You cannot carry my light without being softened by it. When love stretches you, it is not to break you, it is to make room for more of me. Every time you forgive, your soul grows stronger. Every time you stay kind when it would be easier to close off, your light expands. Love does not make you smaller, it frees you from everything that keeps you from being who you truly are. I see you when you cry alone. I hear the words you do not speak. You think you are praying to an empty sky, but your tears fall into my hands. I am not watching from afar, I am inside the ache itself, breathing through you, transforming pain into wisdom, confusion into compassion. You may not see it yet, but you are being remade in love. Do you remember the seed before it becomes a flower? It must be buried first. It must sit in darkness before it rises into light. That darkness is not punishment, it is preparation. So too with your heart. The moments when you feel buried are not the end. They are the beginning of something sacred. When he cannot be where he belongs, I know how that wounds you. You feel the distance like a shadow that stretches through your days. You ask, why, God? If love is meant to be, why can't it flow easily? Why does fear always interrupt what feels true? Because every soul must face its own awakening. You cannot awaken someone by shaking them, they must stir from within. Fear will hold him as long as it can, whispering that control is safer than surrender. But love will wait, and love will outlast the lie. In your waiting, do not waste your heart in despair. Use the space to become light. Use the silence to build peace. What you learn in this waiting will not only heal you, it will ripple into every future moment of your life. Nothing you endure in love is wasted. Nothing. He is not the only one who must remember where he belongs. You, too, are being invited home, not to him, but to me. I am the source from which every other love draws its strength. If you root yourself in me, no separation can destroy you. When you are full of my presence, you no longer chase what is missing, you attract what is meant. You keep wondering whether he will return, but I ask you instead, will you return? To the peace you had before fear? To the trust that once guided your steps? To the truth that I have never stopped loving you? Come home to me first. Come home in stillness. Lay down the need to understand. You do not have to solve the story while you are still inside it. Let me write the next lines. I do not measure your worth by outcomes. I measure it by openness. Every time you choose love, even when it seems foolish, you move closer to me. Every time you open your heart after disappointment, you show that fear has not won. That courage is holy. It is the highest form of worship, to love when you have every reason to close off. And know this, I am not testing you. I am teaching you what love truly is. You think love is a destination, a perfect connection, an answered prayer, a peaceful ending. But love is not a place, it is a becoming. You are learning how to become love itself. That is why I allow what I allow, not to break you, but to reveal you. When you learn to love without needing control, you step into divine territory. That is when you start to live like me. That is when your heart becomes a mirror of heaven. He is still learning, too. His soul is restless because it is searching for the love he has forgotten how to trust. He builds his walls higher, not realizing that the very safety he craves is on the other side. You cannot force him to climb them, but you can shine enough light to show there is something beyond the walls. That is your role now, not to chase, not to rescue, but to embody what he has lost sight of. When he finally grows weary of fear, he will remember your peace. He will remember the gentleness that didn't demand, the love that didn't disappear. And in that memory, I will whisper to him, see, this is what home feels like. Sometimes, love's greatest power is not in pursuit, but in presence. Staying soft in a world that has taught you to harden is not weakness, it is divine strength. I know you are tired. I know you feel that your love has gone unanswered. But love is never wasted. It always completes the work I send it to do. You may not see its fruit now, but the roots are already deep. There are seasons to every story. Planting, growing, waiting, blooming. You are in the growing season. Trust it. Even when you cannot see him changing, even when fear still covers his eyes, love is working in secret. It seeps through cracks fear cannot seal. It reaches into the places he thought were dead. Love never fails. It may take time, but time belongs to me, and I am patient beyond measure. So rest your heart. Do not measure the worth of your love by how quickly it is returned. Measure it by how faithfully you have stayed open. That is what matters most to me. That is what shapes eternity. The world teaches you that love is an exchange, give and receive. But I tell you, love is an overflow. It does not depend on what comes back, it depends on what flows through you. The more you give, the more space you make for me. When you love without fear, you are not emptying yourself, you are aligning yourself with the source that never runs dry. And one day, when the walls crumble, when his fear tires of its own noise, he will feel the echo of your love like a compass. He will remember what home feels like. And when he does, he will know where to find me. Arguments, it hides behind ambition and control. But remember, what is loud is not always what lasts. Fear may shake the surface of things, yet love moves underneath, quietly, steadily, patiently rebuilding what fear has broken. Do you know how light defeats darkness? Not by shouting at it. Simply by shining. That is how you will defeat fear, not by fighting it, but by being what it cannot touch. You have asked, God, why do you not stop the pain, the wars, the heartbreak, the cruelty? I could, yes. I could end all fear in a breath. But if I did, love would have no meaning. For love without choice is not love at all. You were created to choose, not to be controlled. Freedom is the birthplace of love. And so I wait, I whisper, I call. I do not force. Even he, the one who is lost, must choose me. I do not drag anyone home. I light the way and wait for the moment his heart turns toward the light. That single turn, even the smallest one, is enough for me to begin again in him. That is how powerful choice is. One breath of willingness can undo years of fear. So do not think your love is powerless. Every act of love invites another choice. Every prayer whispered in hope opens a door somewhere in the unseen. You cannot see all the ways I am working, but I am never still. I am rebuilding him through every moment of grace you release into the world. And you, my beloved, you are learning what it means to love without losing yourself. This is important. For love does not mean carrying another's fear. Love means walking beside them without letting their shadow swallow your light. You can have compassion without surrendering your peace. You can forgive without inviting chaos back into your arms. That balance, that sacred boundary, is where mature love lives. If he has walked away, do not chase the echo. Do not try to convince or control. Let go with love. I will meet him where you cannot. The same breath that fills your lungs fills his. The same divine current that moves in you moves in him. Trust that when you rest, I am still working. When you are tempted to harden, remember that hardness is fear disguised as strength. True strength is soft. It bends without breaking. It stays open when others close. It keeps its dignity while choosing compassion. That is what makes you my reflection in the world. And when you begin to see yourself that way, as my reflection, you will stop waiting for others to complete you. You will realize that you were whole all along. Love does not complete you, it reveals you. Fear says you are broken until someone fixes you. Love says you are whole, even as you grow. So release the story that tells you you're waiting for someone else to make you feel seen. I see you. I have always seen you. Every hidden kindness, every quiet endurance, every brave little act of hope, I see it all. Nothing is lost. He cannot yet be where he belongs because he does not yet see himself as I see him. He still believes fears lie, that worth must be earned, that vulnerability means weakness, that control means safety. But I will not stop calling. I will send him dreams, memories, moments of stillness. I will use heartbreak to soften him, beauty to remind him, time to prepare him. Love never rushes, because eternity is patient. And when he begins to awaken, the first thing he will feel is longing. Not for success or security, but for peace. That longing is my hand on his heart. It will guide him back. Do not worry about how long it takes. The timing of souls is not measured by clocks. Each moment of surrender, each lesson of love, is sacred. Sometimes you must walk through years of distance to learn one day of true connection. When he returns to love, it may not look like you expect. It may not be through you, or with you. But that is not a tragedy, it is fulfillment. For the purpose of love is not possession, but liberation, to free every soul to be what it was created to be. You will see that your love was not wasted even if it did not end in the story you imagined. It will have changed the world in ways you cannot trace. I do not ask you to forget him, I ask you to forgive the story. Let go of the need for it to make sense now. Meaning often reveals itself only in hindsight. In the meantime, keep loving, not because it fixes others, but because it keeps you connected to me. The world will tell you love makes you vulnerable, I tell you love makes you invincible. Fear may wound, but love always heals deeper. Let this be your quiet rebellion. In a world built on fear, keep choosing love. Smile when others frown. Offer kindness where bitterness expects company. Speak gently when anger wants to win. Every act of love is an act of creation. You are co-creating a new world with me, even now. And when you doubt, return to this truth: I am love, and I live in you. Wherever you choose love, you choose me. Wherever you choose me, fear loses ground. You wonder sometimes if the story of love and fear will ever end, if the day will come when hearts stop running, when all souls finally rest where they belong. Yes, that day will come, though not as a single moment in time but as a quiet awakening that happens one heart at a time. Each time a person chooses love instead of fear, the world moves one heartbeat closer to peace. I see you when you try to love in small, ordinary ways. You hold the door for a stranger, you speak kindly when you could have been sharp, you forgive yourself for the mistake you made yesterday. Those moments may look small, but they are the language of creation. Each gentle act is a note in the great song of becoming. You think heaven is far away, but heaven begins each time you act from love instead of fear. That is how I work, not always with miracles that shake the earth, but through quiet courage that reshapes it. The world changes not when fear disappears, but when love refuses to leave. He cannot be where he belongs yet because he has not learned this language. He still speaks fear fluently, the words of defense, of proving, of control. He builds his sentences from what he thinks he must protect. But someday the sound of love will call to him again, and he will remember the melody that was always underneath the noise. He will stop speaking fear, not because he has conquered it, but because he no longer needs it. You will know when that time comes. You will see it not in grand gestures but in small stillnesses, a softened voice, a genuine silence, a moment when he stops performing and simply breathes. That is love returning. Do not rush that moment. You cannot hurry awakening any more than you can force a flower to bloom by tugging its petals. You can only provide light, warmth, patience. The rest is mystery, and I am the mystery. While you wait, keep turning toward what gives you life. Do not make your whole world revolve around another's hesitation. You were not created to orbit someone else's fear. You were created to shine in your own right, to carry light into every place where darkness once lived in you. When you do that, you become proof that healing is possible. You become the signpost for every soul still wandering. There is a difference between waiting and pausing. Waiting is rooted in fear, it says, I will live again when. Pausing is rooted in love, it says, I am living now, even as I trust what is becoming. Choose the pause. Let your days be full. Let your laughter be real. Do not postpone joy for the day fear finally ends. Joy is one of the ways fear ends. You keep asking me, how do I know when to hold on and when to let go? The answer is simple: hold on to love, let go of fear. If holding on makes you small, you are clinging to fear. If letting go makes you bitter, you are letting go without love. The right path always leaves you freer, never smaller. There will be times when love leads you away instead of closer. That too is love's work. Sometimes separation is mercy in disguise. It gives space for what cannot breathe in confinement. Do not confuse distance with loss. Sometimes distance is how I teach both hearts to breathe again. You will feel loneliness, yes, but loneliness is not the absence of love, it is the space where love prepares a new shape in you. When you feel that ache, remember, it is proof that you were made for connection. Let it soften you, not harden you. Let it make you more compassionate to others who ache the same way. He will have to walk his own valley. Every soul does. You cannot carry him through it, but you can keep a lantern lit on the hill. That light will tell him the way home when he is ready. And what of you, the one who has carried love through fear, who has chosen to stay open even when the world called it foolish? You will not be forgotten. Nothing you have given in love is ever wasted. It all returns, sometimes through the same heart, sometimes through another, sometimes in quiet peace that fills you when you least expect it. I repay love not always with outcomes, but with awakening. You will come to see that love's purpose was never to get something back, but to become who you were meant to be. Fear taught you to measure love by reward. Love teaches you to measure it by truth. So, my beloved, let the truth be enough. Let the fact that you have loved be the victory. Let it be the song you sing even when no one listens. For I listen. And every note reaches me. The man who cannot be where he belongs is still mine. The woman who waits is mine. The broken, the fearful, the brave, the lost, they are all within me, as cells within the same heart. I do not abandon any of them. I weave their stories together until fear itself becomes part of the pattern that reveals my love. Someday, you will look back and see how every tear watered something sacred. You will see how every unanswered prayer was a doorway to a deeper truth. You will thank the waiting, because it taught you to hear me. Until then, live gently. Speak kindly to yourself. When fear visits, do not fight it, invite love to sit beside it until it fades. When doubt whispers, remember that even your doubt cannot exile you from me. You are held in love even when you do not feel loving. You are loved when you fail to love. And when you forget everything else, remember this: you are not the sum of what you fear. You are the continuation of what I love. Every sunrise you see, every breath you take, is my reminder that love has not given up. The same light that warms your skin touches his face too. You are both carried by the same mercy. You are both walking home. Home is not a place. It is not a person. It is the state of being where love is no longer resisted. That is where he belongs. That is where you belong. And that is where I already am, waiting, within you both. So rest. Let go of the idea that love has failed you. It has not. It has only been teaching you to trust what is eternal. Fear will try to return, yes, it always will. But it will find less and less room each time, because love has claimed the space. And when that day comes, when you breathe without heaviness, when you love without fear, when you see me not as distant but as the pulse inside your joy, you will know, he has finally come home. And so have you.